It's Steve from the old Yorkshire Geek, and I've got a Star Trek article to look at tonight. 15 Star Trek Legacy stories, Picard already set up. It says, this is from Screen Rant, as usual. Links in the description down there. And don't forget, I hurt my hand then. Don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell. If you're subscribed already, I'm also on Rumble, Spotify, Amazon Music Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Links are in the description for all that, as are the links to my 2 books, Silent Predator, a short horror novella about big cats, Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action-adventure. Shall I read the back of them? Sod it. What the heck? The back. This is the back of the Silent Predator. The idyllic peace of the northern English countryside is shattered when gruesome killings occur close to a large government laboratory. A local school teacher and a maverick scientist find themselves on a deadly quest to track down a family of big cats that regards a small Yorkshire village as its hunting ground. There we go. And then we go to the blurb for Mercury Rapids. When Bill Lewis is abducted by extraterrestrials, little does he know that he will embark on an adventure that will see him pitting his wits against alien forces intent on destroying the Earth. Mercury Rapids offers a fun, thrill-filled ride for all science fiction fans across the galaxy. They're on Amazon, Twitter, what am I talking about? On Amazon, Kindle, and paperback. Twitter, what am I talking about? Oh dear. Right, let's get on with this article. Here we go. This is from Screen Rant, as I said. It's a silly article, really. Star Trek Legacy has been brilliantly set up by Star Trek Picard Season 3. People are talking about this Star Trek Legacy as though it's going to happen, aren't they? With over a dozen potential stories just waiting to be told. And there we see Jack Crusher, Q, and Captain 7 of 9. And I wish they'd do away with these Starfleet Deltas with the dividing line down. Because it just reminds me that Star Trek divides the fans now. Just do away with it. Star Trek Picard Season 3's finale brilliantly set up 15 potential storylines for its proposed spin-off Star Trek Legacy. Hashtag Star Trek Legacy, by the way. Picard Season 3 was billed as the last ride of the complete cast of Star Trek The Next Generation, and their story concluded in an emotional and incredibly satisfying manner. Not entirely satisfying, not in my opinion, but anyway. As Admiral Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart and the crew of the USS Enterprise D saved the galaxy one final time. Picard's crew then passed the torch to the next generation aboard the newly christened USS Enterprise G, which is one of the things that I don't like about it. They should have left the Titan A as the Titan A and commissioned a new Enterprise G. A year had passed, we could have seen a new Enterprise G. But never mind. All throughout its epic Star Trek The Next Generation movie-like 10-episode run, Star Trek Picard Season 3 put the pieces in place for Star Trek Legacy. Hashtag Star Trek Legacy. Hashtag Terry Trek, etc. Picard Season 3 was the completion of 7 of 9's Jerry Ryan's journey that began in Star Trek Voyager Season 4. Culminating in her promotion to Captain of the Enterprise G, should have been Titan A. The children of Next Generation icons Jean-Luc Picard and Commodore Geordie LaForge, LeVar Burton. Why bring the Commodore rank back? I've no idea. Thought they'd done away with it. Thought they'd done away with Commodore, and it was just they changed it just to a lower rank admiral. But they brought it back apparently. Jack Crusher, Ed Spalier, Sidney LaForge, Ashley Sharp Chestnut, amazing name, I say it every time, and Alandra LaForge, Micah Burton, or Mika, I don't know, worked side by side with their parents. Sidney and Jack are now both confirmed Enterprise crew members, and if Star Trek Legacy happens, there's a whole galaxy for the Enterprise G to explore, and new journeys for its crew to undertake that Picard Season 3's ending left behind. And it's about time they started exploring again in Star Trek, in my opinion, because when Deep Space Nine ended, the galaxy or the Alpha Quadrant or whatever were kind of in a bit of turmoil, wasn't it? And I think exploration were kind of, put on the back burner. And I think now it's time for them to get out there again, which is why I think the Enterprise G should have been a big exploratory class vessel, like the Enterprise D were. And that's what they should have done. A new flagship for the Federation, for Starfleet. But they didn't do that, so never mind. I personally think that was a big mistake. Biggest mistake of the season, in my opinion. But anyway. Right, number 15. What does Q want with Jack Crusher? The shocking return of Q, it was amazing, because he can't die. Q can't die, no matter that nonsense from Season 2. Q is infinite. With the shocking return of Q, John Delancey, in Star Trek Picard's final end credits scene, posits the first big question for Star Trek Legacy to answer. What is Jack Crusher's ultimate cosmic destiny? Q transferred the trial of humanity from Jean-Luc Picard to his son, a chip off the old block. Jack's fate to become Vox of Borg, assimilate Starfleet and end the United Federation of Planets was averted, but Crusher remains a figure of galactic importance. So what does Q want with Jack Crusher? And will the omnipotent being forge, LaForge, the same bond of antagonistic friendship with Jack as he did with Picard? Well, this is it. This is what we want to know, isn't it? This is what we want. We want to see John Delancey back as old Q, because he can look how he wants. They should have episodes where he looks like somebody totally different. They should do that. They should do that. If John Delancey's not available, just have somebody else playing Q. And he said, no, I'm Q. I'm the old, the Q that you know. I've just decided to change things up for a while. Because he can do that. Right, number 14. 7 of 9, learning to be captain of the Enterprise. He should be the captain of the Titan A. Captain 7 of 9 is literally a new breed of starship captain who will face myriad challenges, the least of which is deciding on her own unique catchphrase. They don't need a catchphrase. They don't need one. Once comply, that's what she said. Once rejected from Starfleet for being a reclaimed Borg, 7 is a renowned ne'er-do-well and rule-breaker who is, on paper, an oddball choice to command the flagship of the Federation. I don't think the Titan A, the Neo-Constitution class, should be the flagship of the Federation. In my opinion, certainly 7 will remain to her. Certainly 7 will remain to herself and to her instincts, but her penchant for disobeying orders may find her at odds with her greater responsibilities as captain of the Enterprise. The story of Captain 7, yet to be told, will prove to be fascinating, and Starfleet has much to learn from 7 and vice versa. Plus, she's a new captain, newish, so she shouldn't be the captain of the flagship of the Federation. That should be an experienced captain that's in charge of the flagship. To be honest, it should be an admiral that's in charge of the flagship, Starfleet's flagship, really, with a captain as his first officer. So they should have put Picard in charge, or somebody else. Shelby should have, because apparently she did survive. I think Terry Metalis said Shelby's not dead. She did survive, even though she got shot twice at point blank range. But apparently she's still alive. So she should be captain of, commander of the Enterprise, G, but of the Federation flagship. Whatever. Anyway, number 13, 7 of 9, and Raffi's relationship status. Forget it. There isn't a relationship status. There never was. All we did was just see them holding hands, and that were it. 7 of 9 and Commander Raffi Musica, Michelle Hurd, were in a relationship in Star Trek Picard Season 2, but broke up and spent most of Season 3 apart. Now, fate has thrown them back together as the first former LGBTQ+ couple to command the Enterprise together. The actual state of 7 and Raffi's relationship is unclear, but Star Trek Legacy will no doubt define their status as not an item. That's what they should do. Whether Captain 7 and her number 1 resume their romance or stay platonic, there'll be plenty of juicy drama on the bridge of the Enterprise G. Yeah, so I suppose they could play into it, and there could be like rumours going round that they once were an item, rumour rife amongst the crew. But I think 7 she'd be a bit stoic about it and say, no, it's not happening. It's not happening. It'd be, it wouldn't be right. Right, number 12, Jack Crusher and Sidney LaForge's relationship status. This is one that I would look forward to seeing, because obviously there is chemistry between them. Anyway, another are they or aren't they relationship, excuse me, Star Trek Picard Season 3 created is Jack Crusher and Sidney LaForge. Jack and Sidney share a flirtation as they face several life-threatening battles against Captain Vadic's Amanda Plummer's changelings aboard the USS Titan A. When Jack joined the Enterprise G as an ensign, he and Sidney seemed prepared to continue their mutual interest. However, Jack is also the reason Sidney was briefly assimilated by the Borg, and as a lieutenant, LaForge outranks Crusher. If Jack and Sidney get romantic, it probably won't be smooth sailing. But when are romances ever? Yeah, that'd be an interesting one. I'd like to see how they develop that. Number 11, how will Liam Shaw be resurrected? Yeah, he'll come back. Star Trek Picard showrunner Terry Matalas confirmed that Captain Liam Shaw, Todd Stashwick, was always meant to die in Season 3. But if Star Trek Legacy happens, there is an awesome plan in place to bring Shaw back. Thus Shaw's Star Trek Legacy return is guaranteed if the spin-off gets a green light. But the question is, how will Shaw be resurrected by Borg nanoprobes? Will he be an emergency hologram? Will he come back positronic and synthetic? Oh, God, I hope not. Shaw ultimately won over fans who look forward to the dipshit from Chicago's comeback in Star Trek Legacy, whatever form it takes. I wasn't a huge Shaw fan, to be honest. Yeah, it's fine, the character's, a bit abrasive, but I wasn't a huge fan, to be honest. He looks like a baddie. he's a lovely fella, Todd Stashwick and stuff, but he looks like a baddie, in my opinion. So I think they should bring him back as a baddie, to be honest, and not as Liam Shaw. Todd Stashwick playing, Liam Shaw's mirror universe counterpart. That's what they should do. He's already got the goatee. That's what they should do. Number 10. Is Alandra LaForge the Enterprise G's chief engineer? Star Trek Picard Season 3's finale didn't confirm where Alandra LaForge was stationed 1 year later when the Enterprise G launched. It's possible that Alandra returned to her post alongside her father, Commodore Geordie LaForge, looking after the starships of the Fleet Museum on Atham Prime. But that seems like a waste of Alandra when Star Trek Legacy's real action will be on the Enterprise. Alandra's best destiny is to take over the chief engineer role that Geordie held on the Enterprise D&E, but Star Trek Legacy has to make it so. I don't think she will. I think this were a one-off, her appearing with her father. I think they'll get a new chief engineer. Whomever that may be. Who could they have? Somebody that we've met already that's good at engineering. Who could we? I don't know. I can't think of anybody. Somebody from that Voyager or Deep Space Nine. Chief O'Brien. He could come out of retirement. Anyway, whatever. The Enterprise G needs a new science officer. Lieutenant Tavine Stephanie that was a tragic casualty of Star Trek Picard Season 3. The bald Vulcan was disintegrated by Vadic. It was shocking. But this means that the USS Enterprise G needs a new science officer, and Tavine's replacement wasn't confirmed in Star Trek Picard's finale. The Enterprise's new science officer could be an all-new character, but it might also be a good way to slide another former Star Trek Picard character into the role, like Ensign Elnor, Evan Evora, or possibly Kestra Troy Riker, Lulu Wilson, who was purportedly at Starfleet Academy during Picard Season 3. The thing is, they don't really have science officers in the Next Generation era. They didn't really have one on the Enterprise D or E. Did they? Like Data covered that role, really, as the science officer, but he was the operations officer, wasn't he? He was the third in command. They didn't really have science officers. And on Voyager, they didn't really have science officers. I think the thinking was they were all scientists, so they all could deal with all that, any science that came along. So they didn't really need a science officer by the 24th/25th century. So there we go. Was she the science officer? I don't know. She could have just been, another officer on the ship doing something else. I think they all can handle the science. But it'd be nice to see, somebody else come into that role that she played. I don't know about Elnor. Apparently he's alive. People were saying Elnor could have been on the Excelsior. 'Cause at the end of season 2, we saw he was on the Excelsior. Q brought him back to life, and he was on the Excelsior. But Terry Matalas said he wasn't on the Excelsior when it was destroyed in season 3. So he's still knocking about somewhere. And Kestra Troy Riker, whatever. Whatever. Anyway. Oh, I think they should bring an alien like we saw in the animated series. I forgot his name. Lieutenant Oryx. Is it Oryx? Him that had 3 arms, an arm growing out of his chest. They should have him. Or one of his, not him, but one of his species. Or a Horta, maybe. In the books, they had a Horta science officer. On the Enterprise. They did. The refit Enterprise. Anyway, number 8, Starfleet Life after Borg assimilation. Star Trek Legacy has to deal with the ramifications of every Starfleet officer under 25, well, not every, but most probably, under 25 being assimilated by the Borg in Star Trek Picard's finale. Admiral Beverly Crusher, Gates McFadden may have purged the Borg nanoprobes from all affected Starfleet officers, but the trauma of being assimilated has to linger. If Captain Liam Shaw was emotionally scarred by the Battle of Wolf 359, so must thousands of Starfleet officers from their assimilation, including many of the Enterprise G's crew members. As a former Borg herself, Captain 7 of 9 is in a unique position to understand the pain an entire Starfleet generation is coping with. Well, yeah, they'll have to reference it at least, won't they? In at least one episode devoted to it. Because you've got to remember, a lot of people died during that time because they were killing people, weren't they, that were, not affected, that weren't assimilated. So a lot of Starfleet officers and probably civilians as well, over 25, that were murdered by them. Probably thousands and thousands of people. They've got to deal with that guilt, haven't they? Like Picard had to deal in the episode Family. He had to deal with it, didn't he? And he ended up breaking down in the vineyard, didn't he, with his brother, saying he wasn't strong enough and all that. And it was quite emotional. Anyway, but yeah, that's a good idea. 7. Next Generation Legacy Guest Stars. Star Trek Legacy will be about Captain 7 of 9 leading her young Enterprise crew. I still wish it wasn't the Enterprise. Just make it the Titan. When it starts, just say, we made a mistake. Sorry, it wasn't Enterprise G. We painted that on the wrong ship. It should have been that one over there. Sorry, 7 of 9. You're still Captain of the Titan. Or it were all a joke, it were all a prank on Admiral Picard. Or it was just a temporary assignment for Frontier Day. A temporary renaming of the ship. I wonder what happened then. A temporary rename of the ship for Frontier Day a year later. And it's gone back to being the Titan A. And the Enterprise G is now, this Super Ace class explorer ship. Picard class, that's what they could say, a new ship that's humongous, with 12 nacelles and 4 saucer sections and 8 warp cores. Anyway, where were we? But the spin-off will also benefit from Star Trek The Next Generation Legacy guest stars Picard, Dr. Crusher, Geordi, Worf, Michael Dorn, Captain Will Riker, Jonathan Frakes, Counsellor Deanna Troi, Marina Sirtis, and I say it every time, but it should be Will Troy, shouldn't it? But never mind. And Data, Brent Spiner, all got to say goodbye with a rousing game of poker. Apparently, 45 minutes if they filmed that. The overhead shot of them playing poker. 45 minutes of them just goofing off, playing poker. And to edit it down. Apparently. Where were we? But every TNG actor has stated their desire to reprise their roles in Star Trek Legacy. Riker could even be Captain Seven's Admiral, which is an idea Jonathan Frakes has floated. He should be the captain of the Enterprise G when they put it on another ship. Star Trek Legacy would certainly benefit from the star power of TNG guest stars, and the fans would absolutely love to see more of the Enterprise D's legends. I like my idea of them taking the name of Enterprise G from the Titan A and say it was, it was just a temporary thing, and 7 of 9 kicking off about it, and make a point about make a plot point about Starfleet doing the dirty a bit on 7 of 9. But whatever. Right, more TNG kids joining Star Trek Legacy. Oh, God. Star Trek Picard showrunner Terry Matalas also stated that his plans for Star Trek Legacy include the TNG kids he couldn't fit into Season 3, including Elnor, Kestra Troy Riker, Worf's son Alexander Rozhenko, he did say that, I remember him saying that, and Soji, he's Issa Briones, I don't know how you pronounce it, but never mind. She's sodded off though, hasn't she? It's not Soji, is it? I don't know what it is, to be honest. I can't remember who she is. She's been that many people. I planned to have Soji meet her father Data, had to be scrapped due to budget. So it was Soji, was it? I mean, she would have been an ambassador for the AI things, wasn't she? In Season 2. But anyway, I don't know. I don't care. But Star Trek Legacy can make that happen and more. It would also be fascinating if the offspring of TNG's icons don't get along the way their parents famously do, and if there's conflict between the TNG kids. Well, yeah. I get the feeling that Kestra would be a bit of a handful, even though she's been to Starfleet Academy. She could be willful, because of her dad, Will. Anyway, Star Trek Voyager follow-up. Yes, this is what we want. Look at this is from Endgame, isn't it? Showing the future. Anyway, Star Trek Picard has always served as a quasi Star Trek Voyager sequel, thanks to 7 of 9, and Star Trek Legacy can take this even further. Although Star Trek Prodigy currently has dibs on Voyager's characters, Picard Season 3 included Captain Tuvok, Tim Russ, and planned to have a cameo by Captain Harry Kim Garrett Wang. I saw a thing yesterday. A friend of mine put a thing on the internet where Garrett Wang said something at a convention saying that he couldn't be in Picard because Harry Kim was in Prodigy. Obviously, he wasn't in Season 1 of Prodigy. Does that mean he's going to pop up in Season 2? Don't know. We'll see. Other Voyager characters could potentially appear in Star Trek Legacy to update their 25th century whereabouts, with Kate Mulgrew's Admiral Catherine Janeway at the top of fans' wish lists. Well, she was mentioned, wasn't she? She was mentioned in Picard, but she's been in Voyager. She's my favourite captain. Do you know why? Because she's hot, or she was back in the day. Kate Mulgrew, she was. I just watched an episode the other night of Voyager. Which one is it now? Oh, I can't remember what it's called. Macrocosm. She does a Die Hard, and so she's down to a vest and stuff, and action heroine stuff. They said there were no action heroines back, before Jennifer Lawrence. Kate Mulgrew in that episode, Macrocosm. I kept meaning to take some screenshots and share it on the internet, and I forgot. But yeah, Kate Mulgrew, I thought she was gorgeous. I did. Number 4, when she had the long hair as well, then she cut it. I loved it when she had the long hair. Anyway, Star Trek Deep Space Nine follow-up. Star Trek Picard Season 3 revealed the devastating fallout of Star Trek Deep Space Nine's Dominion War, but only Worf appeared as a representative of the space station's crew. Star Trek Legacy could finally give an update to some of DS9's beloved characters like Dr. Julian Bashir, Alexander Siddig, Ezri Dax, Nicole DeBurr, Jake Sisko, Kirk Lofton, or is it Sirak? I don't know how you pronounce it, sorry. And Miles O'Brien, Colin Meaney, who Picard showrunner Terry Matalas hinted he has an idea about. Yay! Chief engineer of the Enterprise G. DS9's fans have long suffered from the absence of their favourites from Star Trek on Paramount Plus, and Star Trek Legacy can end this drought. When I say Chief Engineer of the Enterprise G, I don't mean the Titan A, I mean the new ship they give the name to. Number 3, Wesley Crusher can meet Jack Crusher. Shut up, Wesley. He should say, that should be the first thing he says. They should meet, and Wesley will go. Jack will say, "Shut up, Wesley." Yee, and I'd laugh. Another glaring face on him. His face you want to punch, and I've never liked him. I like him even less now. He's grown up. Another glaring absence from Star Trek Picard Season 3 was Wesley Crusher Will Wheaton. Who has yet to meet his younger half-brother Jack Crusher. Wesley was name-dropped a few times in Picard Season 3, but Will Wheaton didn't reprise his role. However, the meeting between the Crusher brothers is a prime story for Star Trek Legacy to tell. Further, Wesley is a traveller, a cosmic being who oversees space and time, even though he were in Star Trek Nemesis. He were there in the background in a shot. Perhaps Q's interest in Jack can provoke Wesley to break the rule in Will Wheaton's headcanon that travellers can never revisit their loved ones so that Jack can finally encounter his big brother. But he did revisit his loved ones because he was in Star Trek Nemesis for the wedding. Dr. Agnes Gerati's Borg return. No, I nearly swore then. I could stare at that. That looks bloody awful. Looks like, I forgot his name. Little Britain fella, Matt Lucas. Looks like Matt Lucas. The original Borg Collective is no longer a threat thanks to the crew of the USS Enterprise D. Wanna bet? I bet they're still out there. I bet they're still out there. But the 25th century still has other Borg somewhere in the Alpha Quadrant. Dr. Agnes Gerati, Alison Pill, became a hybrid Borg queen in Star Trek Picard Season 2. And her collective received Provisional Federation membership. Gerati's Borg didn't appear in Picard Season 3, thank God. And Star Trek Legacy, they were mentioned though, they were mentioned. Captain Shaw mentioned them. He said, never mind that nonsense with the Stargazer, that, with the Borg there. He said the real Borg's still out there somewhere. And I think they still are out there. They beat that queen again, at Jupiter and that, in that cube. But I think the real Borg is still out there. The Delta Quadrant's a long way away. Star Trek Legacy can finally pick up the story of this new benevolent Borg and what role they will play in the Federation going forward. Yeah, I suppose fair enough. They could be friendly. Well, I mean, we've had Hugh, haven't we? He were a friendly Borg, wasn't he? So why not have more friendly Borg, but just not her? Number 1, Jack Crusher, a special counsellor to Captain 7. This is baffling to me. Absolutely baffling. I don't understand this. Ensign Jack Crusher received a plum assignment on the USS Enterprise G when 7 of 9 named him special counsellor to the captain in Star Trek Picard's finale. What this means exactly is something for Star Trek Legacy to explore. Jack has a lifetime of galactic experiences to draw from, and he has a rapport with 7. Also holds Jack's father in high esteem. But this is an unusually cushy assignment for an impetuous young ensign who breezed through an accelerated Starfleet Academy programme in just 1 year due to nepotism. No doubt Jack Crusher is a valuable crew member, but his roguish ways could also pose to be a problem for the equally rule-breaking Captain 7 in Star Trek Legacy. But they could have him being there, all cocky and stuff, and rubbing the rest of the crew up the wrong way, couldn't they? That's what they could do, and he could find that the crew don't actually like him because, of his the way he's risen to the top so quickly because of his family. And also there could be also resentment that he was behind, he was a central part of the Borg, assimilation and all that. So yeah, they could do that. So yes, I agree with all that, apart from that. Apart from the Gerati's Borg return, but you could see the friendly Borg again. But everything else, cool. Oh, we don't want Will Wheaton in again either, do we? But yeah, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. So hashtag Star Trek Legacy. I hope it happens. They seem to be pushing it. And I'm sure Alex Kurtzman's grinding his teeth somewhere, hoping it blows over. Because we don't want his Starfleet Academy series. We don't want his Section 31 movie. We want Star Trek Legacy. That's what the majority of fans are wanting, in my opinion. But anyway, right, so we'll leave it there. So, thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other, and until next time, I'll see thee.